Dear Nintendo, you had me. You really, really had me. From the time I was young, all I ever wanted as a kid was just get the Game Boy. I wanted the regular Game Boy, and I wanted to just be able to play games on the go. Getting my first Game Boy was absolutely magical. For me, even though I grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s, I got to experience all of those retro Mario games because of the Game Boy. And I was forever a Nintendo fan because of that. I will never forget going to a family member's house and them having a Nintendo 64 and seeing Donkey Kong 64 for the first time. It literally felt like I was in the future. I could not fathom that there is this game where you could look around and explore things around you. Because like I said earlier, I was used to my Game Boy, which was 2D. Needless to say, Nintendo was near perfect through most of my life. Fast forwarding a bit to the 2000s, the GameCube was awesome and super iconic, and we also continued to get more variations of the Game Boy as it went on. But something I definitely want to talk a lot about today was the Wii. I believe that the Wii was one of the most innovative systems ever, and at the time, it made video games as a whole level up because it was so revolutionary. With that being said, that was definitely a peak for Nintendo, because from that on, I think we slowly saw the descent of Nintendo. After that, the DS and 3DS, you can say, were certainly successes, but we didn't get any progress forward from Nintendo since then. We got the Wii U, which what even was that? And then now we have the Switch. And looking at both of these two consoles, the Wii U and the Switch, they're not even very different from a technology standpoint. So what's going on, Nintendo? Honestly, we need better. If you still just stuck with the Switch but gave us a bunch of awesome exclusives and gave us different versions of them and gave us different programs to utilize on the Switch, we might be talking about something. But that's not the case. Games are $60. A lot of games are not super polished or anything special, especially compared to what they used to be. Here's a great example right here. Talking about in the early 2000s, we got a game like Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. And then now we're looking at the Switch, and we'll look at the latest Paper Mario. This game from the early 2000s completely plays better now than this game does, in my opinion. I also think Nintendo's been really greedy, and they kind of dropped the ball with their throwback retro releases. If on the Switch we were able to just access all of the games from previous consoles, I right there think the Switch would now be on the same level as a lot of modern consoles because of how much we'd have to do, right? But what the Switch has given us is access to a few retro games at a time. And they're basically purposely not the best ones. I shouldn't have to pay and be super excited about one game being released every few months that's from 1980. They should just be releasing all of those retro games for us to play, the same way you can emulate them on PC. And I think fans would be super grateful for that gesture in itself, which in all reality is not even asking for that much. Another thing about the Switch is it literally holds back modern gaming. There are games like Mortal Kombat, which had to come out for the PS5 and the Switch. Truthfully, you're just wasting the developer's time at that point because they're just having to downgrade this nice game to play on this console that is probably as strong as the iPhone that I'm recording this video on. I also feel like Nintendo has not been super generous to their fans, not super grateful towards their fans, and same thing applies towards Nintendo content creators. I feel like they have their kind of pocket of people that they support, but then other than that, they're pretty protective about content. And I don't know, that's just not cool because in my opinion, this is all coming from someone who literally was so obsessed with Nintendo growing up that it honestly holds a place in my heart forever. So I'm hoping that maybe this video could catch on and spread to Nintendo. And honestly, I just want better. And I hope people agree because we know that the potential's there. You guys know gaming. You establish gaming. Seriously. So let's see in 2024 what you guys can give us moving forward. Hopefully it's just a better effort and we see better progress. Same way we did in the mid 2000s. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.